Hello from the south coast of Wales and another summer evening of swim, bike and run. It's just a few hours of non-stop action here in the city centre. It's time for the Swansea Triathlon. The sprint distance course here is very flat and very fast, and with closed roads, it's all set up for elite triathletes to battle it out. But it's also the perfect arena for first-timers to take their first plunge into the sport. With scenery and history every step of the way, this race has become an iconic fixture in the triathlon calendar. It's brought to you by the same organisers as the world-famous long course weekend and also offers enormous crowd support. From the swim in the Prince of Wales dock, all the way through to the very noisy finish here in Castle Square. Here's your commentator Patrick Winterton with a closer look at what's coming up.
From lucrative docklands to money-spinning marinas, Swansea is certainly a city moving with the times, and it's full of history as well. Dylan Thomas is still remembered and celebrated in Wales's second biggest city, but today is not about poets or playwrights or even Copperopolis as the city used to be known. It's about men and women who swim, bike and run. It's about the spectators, the fans. It's about those who've come to Swansea to entertain throughout this triathlon, the 2019 University of Wales Trinity St David Swansea Triathlon. It all starts with a swim, as you'd expect, 750 metres in the Prince of Wales docks, then onto a 3-lap bike course to make up the 20 kilometres, plenty of dead turns, loads of opportunity for the leaders to keep an eye on the opposition. And the day finishes with a short, sharp 5-kilometre run, which finishes in Castle Square, which is where the bulk of the fans will be to see the fastest athletes across the line. Well, nervous moments for the 800 athletes who've signed up for this. It's hugely popular in these parts. Whole clubs have turned up, not just one or two from each club. And former Wales and Lions captain Gareth Thomas is doing his first ever triathlon. It's going to be a big, big test for him, a man who weighs in at over 100 kilograms. The fitting of the wetsuit, very, very important in at this stage of the season. The water's still pretty chilly. Those who've been training day in, day out will be quite happy with that. Andrew Horsfall-Turner on the left of your screen, brilliant open water swimmer, switching to triathlon recently. Every time out he seems to get better. James Dean, certainly one to watch as well. He did well back in 2018, only bettered on that occasion by Alex Matchett.
Great course, quite compact, tight, crowd are really close to the course, so you get good support all the way around. It's local to me, so I know all the routes. I've been training down the front and stuff like that, so yeah, no, it's good.
Now, here's a man to watch, Liam Lloyd, fourth in the Duathlon World Championships. His bike-run combination is second to none, and he knows if he has a half-decent swim, the chances are he will cross the line first. That expectation brings a little bit of pressure as well.
I'm ready to race. I've been racing the last couple of weekends, so I feel like I'm in a race mode. I know most of the guys racing, some youngsters obviously as well who I train with, so to come and be able to do a race like this, you know, on home turf, like it's amazing.
Now here's an athlete who's taking this pretty seriously, Paige Horsnell, great all-rounder. She's Welsh and she'll get a huge amount of support.
I like a good race. I like the challenge of, you know, from the start to the finish, seeing what my weaknesses are going to be from the event. But overall, I'm really excited and I'm really looking forward to a good race and a good event.
Over 800 athletes looking forward to this one. 4 waves in all the elite athletes going in the first wave. A deep water start, as is pretty much the norm nowadays in these high capacity races. And a lot of young fans here. Great to see the next generation just getting some inspiration. No surprise to see Horsfall-Turner taking the lead, although he spends a lot of time looking at the black line on the bottom of a pool. He's got all the skills for this open water.
Well, I'm hoping to try and use my strength, so get out on the swim nice and hard, try and get a little gap over the opposition, and then get out onto the bike and sort of just try and push what I think I can sustain for half an hour or so. But I want to be at the front end of the race.
Well, he's certainly going to be at the front when it comes to the end of the swim, rounding the buoy with a good 10-metre lead at the moment. And of course, if he stays that way, he'll be on his bike on his own. Now, is this the only triathlon in the world with a floating samba band? I expect so. Goodness knows what the fish make of it, but the athletes seem to respond with an increased arm rate as they move in towards the finish.
Andy Horsfall-Turner, my mate who I train with locally, to be out pushing the swim. I'll be chasing him down, I think, a long run into transition, so that'll be where I can maybe gain some time on some of the faster swimmers.
Well, that's a fantastic swim. Just under 8.5 minutes for the 750 metres. That's about a minute 7, a minute 8 for each 100 metres. A 17-second length if you swim in a 25-metre pool. Impressive stuff from Horsfall-Turner. We've got Lewis John, Kieran John, Liam Lloyd out. 3 local men who'll be looking for a little bit of glory here today. Liam Lloyd taking advantage of the long run into T1, and the transition time for T1 here in Swansea is around 2 minutes. Anyone who does 2 minutes has done well. Well, a little glimpse there of Will Monday coming out of the water. He must be about a minute 5 behind the race leaders. He's an exceptionally good cyclist, Monday, so watch out for him later. The leading women, and Wendy Hurst is out from Pencoed Triathlon Club. We've got Paige Horsnell as well. 11:14 I've got the swim time for Horsnell. Horsfall-Turner, first in, first out. That's always encouraging, but by my reckoning, his lead has gone from 15 seconds to something closer to 5. And it's his teammate from Cycle Specific in second place. So Horsfall-Turner leads, Liam Lloyd in second. Lewis John in green, we've got Kieran John wearing black. And Kieran John, 10 seconds lost in T1 to the likes of Lloyd. You just can't afford that when you're up against someone as good as Liam Lloyd. Wendy Hurst in T1. Now she's lost a huge amount of time. You can see Paige Horsnell in the background. She was a minute behind coming into T1, and she's gained all that time. She's going to be first out on the bike. Emma Richards just tiptoeing into T1. Only takes a couple of bits of grit to take you out of race mode. Preserving the soles of your feet becomes more important. An upright position for our new race leader, Paige Horsnell. Most time trialists would be 5 to 10 degrees off the horizontal, but she'll be delighted to be in the lead at this stage. The masses some way behind, and many still coming across the Sail Bridge here in Swansea.
The elite athletes go off first with a clear course ahead of them to fight for the pride and prizes. Behind them, the rest go off in a series of start waves, all with their own personal reasons to be taking on the challenge.
Triathlon, brilliant at getting the masses involved.
Excited, we have trained hard for it now, so it's just get in there and get on with it now.
This is our first triathlon, and we're from Penabon Triathlon Club. Up the Bont! Up the Bont!
First try. Not too fond of open water, but I thought try and get over my fears and give it a go.
What sort of experience have you had in triathlon?
I've done ones myself, but we're in a team today. Blondes have more fun. So, yeah.
See how this goes now.
Gareth Thomas, he's completed the first leg. 16:33 his time in the water. The fastest, remember, out in just around 8.5 minutes. But this is where he could make up some ground. I hope it's a strong bike. He's got some power in those legs still. Liam Lloyd in second place, chasing his teammate Andrew Horsfall-Turner. But Turner, a much improved cyclist this year. He did 36 minutes last year, hoping to be closer to 30. But here comes Liam Lloyd. Look at the power of this man. Beautifully composed on the bike. Just a little word for Andrew Horsfall-Turner, and it will have been a word of encouragement, no doubt about that. And he's away. 20 metres clear already. Horsfall Turner now trying to hold on to second place. Here's the first dead turn. Remember, 3 laps on this 20-kilometre course and plenty of opportunities to see what's going on in front or behind. Emma Richards out of the water, 45 seconds behind. She's now just a few metres behind Paige Horsnell and is going to go through. She's pushing a much, much bigger gear. Will that harm her chances when it comes to the run? We'll have to wait and see. Ross Simpson moving up in the men's race, catching up with Kieran John. And he's up into 4th place now as we see the race leader, Liam Lloyd, leading the way, looking confident.
Welcome back to Swansea Triathlon. With the swim completed, the battle is now on to be first back here to claim victory and the adoration of the crowds here in Castle Square.
Well, this is Liam Lloyd coming into T2. His time out on the bike, 20k under 30 minutes, just by a few seconds. And it looks as though Will Monday's the only other man who's going to break that 30-minute mark on the bike. He's yet to come into T2. Horsfall Turner holding on to second place. He's done so much better than last year. 185th on the bike 12 months ago. He's going to be in the top 5 or 6 this time round. But this is where Liam Lloyd will thrive. He's brilliant on the run. Horsfall Turner away. On goes the baseball cap. He'll skip his way around the corner and a quick look over the shoulder to see where the opposition are. And here is that opposition, Will Monday, who's had a brilliant ride. 10 seconds taken out of Liam Lloyd's time. Well, Will Monday's got some running to do. Horsfall Turner is into survival mode. This is probably his weakest leg, but as he gets more experience, he'll get better and better. Will Monday, who often races with his wife, Hannah, who of course won this race last year, not racing today. Well, Lloyd is away, and it looks as though the battle for second is going to be between Horsfall Turner, Ross Simpson, and Will Monday, who has set off at a very impressive pace.
Just 5k. I'm used to more of like the half marathon distance at the moment, so I'll just go as fast as I can on that really until I get to the finish, and it's gonna hurt.
Settling into his stride and looks comfortable. Emma Richards, 35.38, her time on the bike. That's pretty impressive. She's gone from 45 seconds behind out of the water to over a minute clear by our estimation. Her 5k times as compared to Horsnell, probably about a minute. So it's going to be a very, very tight race. Horsnell will be well aware of her position, and she knows how vital T2 is.
Time is key in a sprint event, you know. The quicker you're in, the quicker you're out, and that really does have an impact on your placing overall then. You know, those couple of seconds just from having a rubbish transition could make the difference between first place and last place, really.
Well, on this occasion, certainly between first and second, and for some, second is as good as last. Many of these athletes were anxious about the swim at the start of the day, but that's long forgotten as they eat up the distance on the bike ride. T2 awaits for them, and Joe Clark is already there, 15-year-old from Bagland School, and he's had a tremendous bike ride, and the school have sent 6 kids to do their first triathlon today. A couple of the guys doing it on their own, and they've got 2 teams in the event as well, getting their first experience.
Well, we're here with Mr. Bowering and his pupils from YBB School in Port Talbot. How are you guys feeling?
Fantastic. We're excited to be taking part today in the Swansea Triathlon.
And have you built this into your lessons, triathlon training?
We've got a triathlon club which takes place every Tuesday. We're trying to take part in as many different events as we can. I'm just trying to get as many people involved in triathlon.
How are you feeling then going into this?
I'm quite excited and also very nervous, but I think we're going to do the best that we can.
Who's doing what?
The run. The bike.
And the teachers are doing the swim. How did you decide who was going to do what?
Well, we just looked at what we were capable of doing and what they were comfortable doing, really. I'm happy to do the swim if I got to do the swim.
Well, I think the teachers got the short straw but what a brilliant way of getting yourself into the sport. And they certainly seem to be enjoying the experience as the riders come into T2. The runners head out for the last 5K. Always time for a quick hug. Now, Gareth Thomas, how is he looking? 2 legs completed, 1 to go. At 6'3", he's got some stride, but he's a big man for a 5K run.
What do you think of the atmosphere there, Gareth? Nice, good. Usually when I come to Swansea, they boo me.
Well, he's still smiling. That's got to be a good sign. As we go back to our race leader, and this is Liam Lloyd, who is heading for a sub-17-minute 5K at the end of a triathlon. I can think of 1 or 2 parkrun athletes who would be over the moon if they produced a time like that. He's flying as he works his way along the coast. Remember the race finishing in Castle Square. Will Monday, brilliant bike ride. Actually, he's produced the fastest bike ride of the day. Just passing James Dean, who came out of the water a minute behind, hasn't been able to make up that distance, but is still going to have a respectable result. But the winner of the University of Wales Trinity St David Swansea Triathlon is undoubtedly going to be Liam Lloyd. Across the line, brilliant time again from him. A 16:49 5K to finish off his day's work. Brilliant.
Amazing atmosphere out there, like loads of people on the course, loads of competitors out there. It's great to have an event like this, you know, in the city centre. I had a great race out there and really enjoyed it.
Second place goes to Will Monday. Good comeback on the bike, couldn't quite hang on to Lloyd.
I knew it was going to be like pretty tough to beat Liam, so but second's the best I could do other than that, so yeah, pleased to go 1 better than last year as well.
Well, we haven't seen much of Ross Simpson. He's been about a minute and a half behind the 2 leaders all the way around. And the first man out of the water, Andrew Horsfall-Turner, 4th this year, a big improvement on 2018. And the winning relay team, Splash, Dash, Pie and Mash. What a mouthful, 1:07.50, and a good final leg from them. Now, this is the battle in the women's, 750 metres at the most to go, and Horsnell just passing Emma Richards. Now, has Richards got it in her for a 2-minute sprint into the finish? We will see. Horsnell has already caught a minute on Emma Richards. Richards on the left of your screen. The luminous green of Paige Horsnell, who did well in the first transition, made good time there. Well, there's a little bit of a fight from Emma Richards, and we will see. This is going to be very, very tight indeed. Horsnell certainly working hard coming up onto the shoulder of Emma Richards. So she's the one that's been pushing hard at this stage. Little climb, once they're over here, it's pretty much downhill towards the finish. And it's whoever has still got a decent length of stride. Horsnell now picks up the pace, closes that gap from 5 metres to 2. Richards, well, if we could hear her breathing, we'd get some idea of just how hard she is working. Let the legs go. Horsnell with a nervous little look over the shoulder. And we'll pick up on the women as they come into Castle Square. 1 or 2 of the men just coming through the final metres, and here's the sprint from Horsnell. She picks it up quickly, and I think Emma Richards taken slightly by surprise. She was just starting to relax, and then Horsnell has pounced, and she's got the timing absolutely perfect. She comes through to take the win in the women's event, and Emma Richards has to settle for second. Oh, if only.
I was struggling, you know, my tank was empty, but I could see I was getting closer to her and getting closer, and in the end I got the energy, and I had to go for it.
Not what I needed at the end. I didn't need it to come to a running race because it's not my forte, but you know, amazing, really good.
A hot day's work out there for many of the athletes. Great to have some sunshine, and here comes another ray. It's Gareth Thomas. A little slow in the water. He put in a tremendous bike ride, sub 40 minutes. Over 28 for the run, but that's not what this is about. Here's a man who's enjoyed his first triathlon.
The pain is hard, but the feeling, the crowd, that's infectious. You know, and I played in front of 70, 80,000 people. But to have, people just come out here for their families, but will support everyone, regardless of talent, that's another level.
I get the feeling he'll be back for more. And of course, Shane Williams, another rugby player turned triathlete who's in the field today. One of the youngsters from Baglan, Jack Williams, and he's on his way to a run around the 26-minute mark, which is pretty good at the end of a triathlon of this length. The girls from Baglan School getting involved in a relay. This is Amelia Seaward, and she's teamed up with her twin sister, who she should join forces with for the last few metres of the race. That will help her over the final stages. And here the twins come into Castle Square. They won't have had a reception like this before, and I suspect they'll remember it for a long time.
I think that's the hardest she's ever run, if I'm honest.
And you beat your other team, right, from your school. You must be really pleased.
Oh, it feels amazing. We've all done our best, but it's glad to come out on top.
Welsh Triathlon has done brilliantly over the last decade or so, but if that success is to continue, it's athletes this young who have to get involved.
Immensely proud of them today. All 60 athletes, they went out and they've done so well. A bit of a tear in my eye as they came across the line, as they're now triathletes, so it's fantastic to see.
The fans creating a fabulous atmosphere here in Swansea.
Look at all the support here today. Like these people I've never met before, but they know my name and they all cheer for you. It's brilliant.
First triathlon, it was hard. It was hard, but I've done it.
Oh, the atmosphere was amazing. The crowds and just people walking in the streets, clapping and cheering and everything, they just kept us going. It was really good.
For those who work 9 to 5 and longer and bring up families, getting fit enough to finish an event like this is an amazing achievement.
Nice it's all done with now. It's finished, yeah, really good experience. And all the support is really fantastic. Really good day.
As always, amazing scenes here at the finish in Swansea. It's been an unforgettable day for the competitors and another brilliant day for this event. We'll see you next year.